No Taxation Without Representation and Uniting the Colonists is the title of this lesson, and it comes from Chapter 5, Lesson 1 and 2. The Sugar Act placed duties on sugar and molasses imported by the colonists. Duties are formal taxes. Parliament passed the Sugar Act in order to raise money to pay for the French and Indian War and to support the British Army that was protecting the 13 colonies. The writs of assistance were legal documents that allowed custom officers to enter any location to search for smuggled goods. The Sugar Act also let officers seize goods from smugglers without going to court using the writs of assistance. James Otis and Samuel Adams believed the new laws created by Parliament were unfair. Their ideas were summed up in the following slogan: No taxation without representation. Committees of Correspondence. Samuel Adams helped to form the Committee of Correspondence. The job of these committees was to get in touch with other towns and colonies in other colonies by writing letters to them to inform them of what was happening in their own colony or town. Its members shared ideas and information about new British laws and ways to challenge them. Boycott. Colonists protested new taxes by refusing to buy British goods and services. The Stamp Act of 1765, proposed by Parliament's Prime Minister Grenville, required the colonists to pay an official stamp or seal when they bought paper items. This act taxed all legal documents, newspapers, pamphlets, wills, playing cards, and dice. The colonists' response to the Stamp Act. In protest of the Stamp Act, the colonists formed the Sons of Liberty. Members of the Sons of Liberty began to protest the Stamp Act. Some protests became violent. For example, some protesters burned effigies, stuffed figures made to look like unpopular tax collectors, and other protesters tarred and feathered tax collectors. The colonists and businesses refused to buy stamps and openly ignored the stamp law. In May 1765, Patrick Henry, a Virginia lawyer, presented a series of resolutions to the Virginia House of Burgesses. A resolution is a formal expression of opinion about an issue. These resolutions stated that the Stamp Act violated the colonists' rights. It stated that the Stamp Act denied colonists a trial by jury. The canceling of the Stamp Act. Parliament repealed or canceled the Stamp Act in 1765. The Townshend Act of 1767 was passed by Parliament in June 1767. It placed duties on paint, glass, lead, paper, and tea. This act applied only to imported goods, with the tax being paid at the port of entry before the goods came into the colony, off the boat. To enforce the Townshend Act, British officials used the writs of assistance. The Declaratory Act was passed the same day the Stamp Act was cancelled. This act stated that Parliament had the power to make laws for the colonies in any and all cases whatsoever. This worried the colonists because it stripped away much of their independence. The writs of assistance allowed tax collectors to search for smuggled goods without a search warrant. Colonists disliked the law because it took power away from the colonial government. To protest, colonists began boycotting British goods. Women also began calling themselves the Daughters of Liberty.
Created using Powtoon.